Hi, my name is Mike Groves and I'm the founder and chief executive of Topolytics, and we're a data aggregation and analytics company that is making the world's waste visible, verifiable and valuable. Well, if you think about all of the waste that's been generated by companies and in our cities across the world, more than 60% of that material is still going into a hole in the ground, into a landfill or a waste dump, or at worst is leaking into the environment. So you've got this really complex system with all of these different materials of different types. It could be recyclable material, it could be hazardous material, it could be construction material, and it's all being generated on an ongoing basis. It's all being collected and then it's being moved through a whole series of sites and transformations before something happens to it. Now clearly most of it is still going into a landfill site. Some of it may be recycled, some of it may be incinerated, some of it may be reprocessed or remanufactured, but it's always moving and it's always being generated. So getting a handle on what's happening and where that material is going and where it's coming from and what the material is and how much of it is there is really difficult, because the data that currently exists is either non-existent or it sits in silos and it's all different. So it's all collected in different ways, it's all measured in different ways. So getting a view on that system is really very difficult, and that's what we are trying to do. So what we do is we basically work with companies and organizations that are producing that waste material, and then that gets collected and moved into that system. And we're answering a big question for them about what does happen to that material. You know, I create all this waste, but where does it go? And that's why our product is called Waste Map, because we think actually understanding where material comes from, where it goes to, and the flow of that material through the system is fundamental to making better decisions about what is happening and what could happen to that material. So yes, in terms of Location Data Scotland, I mean, our product's called Waste Map. So the location is a sort of crucial part of our proposition and the way we would analyze data and the way we would then actually share data and show people what's happening. So being part of and linked to Location Data Scotland is really important for us, because personally, I believe that it's really important that more people understand the importance of location and the importance of geospatial analysis, because it underpins not just what we do as a business, but obviously what lots of other businesses do as well, whether it be retail, whether it be financial services, whether it be marketing, whether it be distribution. You know, the idea of location underpins pretty well everything that we're doing. So being linked to Location Data Scotland is really important for us, because it allows us to, number one, understand what other people are doing, and we can learn from that, and we have learned about other companies who are also part of that group. So we learn from our peers in that way, but also we've been able to go to the sort of GeoBusiness show and have other opportunities to network, to sort of talk about what we're doing, and not only learn, but also then actually engage with potential partners and also maybe potential customers as well. We were lucky enough to be selected to go to GeoBusiness, the GeoBusiness show in London. And again, from our point of view, that was just really interesting to kind of see the state of the art in terms of geospatial analytics, Earth observation, what was happening across that. Because it's too easy to kind of work in your own little kind of silo. And yes, one tries to understand what's happening out there, but actually that was a really interesting one for me, because I hadn't really been exposed to that for a few years. So actually that was really helpful. And we actually, we were talking to some of the other companies that were offering, if you like, pure geospatial kind of solutions into the market. And actually that really sort of gave me some good ideas about how we could build our own, if you like, contextual data. So one of the bits of data it's really important to us is what we call our knowledge base, which is information about where is all this infrastructure, where are all these sites that are managing and processing and doing things to all of this waste material. So looking at how some of these technologies could be applied in that context was actually really useful to us, and so we've taken some of that forward. So in terms of what I do to try and, if you like, sell the idea of geospatial and the importance of geospatial and location, I'm a geographer, my background's geography, Earth observation, so it's kind of in my blood. So I make it, it's a personal crusade in some ways to actually, project the importance of geography and geospatial, not only in a business context, but also in an educational context as well. So I do go out there and I do stuff with schools and universities, but I'm constantly talking about the importance of geospatial and location technologies to what we do. So, I do this thing called the where of waste, because it's that fundamental understanding of location which is important to us. But I think, trying to sort of sell the idea that actually it's really important in other contexts and can also be really, really helpful and useful to companies that maybe just think it's just about maps and putting a push pin on a map. And of course, it's much more than that. So I think when I tend to sort of talk about it with other companies and other organizations, I talk about the analytical capabilities, the idea of being able to analyze and look at data in a different way through a sort of geospatial lens. But I think the other really important bit, and it's important for us as well, is our product's called Waste Map. And it's called Waste Map for a reason, partly because of the analytical power that sits there, but also what is a map? But a map is a storytelling device. So if you want to change people's behavior, if you want to influence people, a map is a brilliant tool for doing that. So it's that analytical piece and then it's that storytelling piece. And that's what I try and tell people, is that actually you can use sort of geospatial technologies in different ways to do different things.